My name is Kujo Yankson. Let me tell you how to turn back time. You can now bring back all the fun, all the excitement, all the controversy of the Super Morning Show and all your favorite Joy shows when you go to myjoyonline.com/podcasts. Just select your favorite show and bring it all back again. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Radio, Joy 99.7.
Good morning and welcome to the AM News here on the AM Show. Our very first story this morning, the Economic Community of West African States has given the military rulers in Guinea 6 months to return the country to constitutional order. The authority of the heads of states of governments of ECOWAS, chaired by President Akufo-Addo, took the decision at the Commission's extraordinary summit, which ended in Accra last night. ECOWAS has further imposed travel ban on the military leaders as well as their family members and supporters and frozen the financial assets of members of the military junta. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Kissiebrou, told the media after the summit that the decision of the ECOWAS authority would be communicated officially to the military rulers today.
In their deliberation, they said two very important things. First, as they did in the meeting of September 8, they reaffirmed the importance of allowing President Alpha Condé to be free and ensure that his physical integrity be respected. So that was the very first thing. They said it in September 8, and they repeat it again today. President Condé must be free without any condition and be immediately free, released by the military. The second thing they said was to reaffirm very firmly the condemnation of the coup d'etat, because as I said and explained, we do not accept coup d'etat in ECOWAS, community protocols. In addition to those two things, two decisions, looking now at the political situation and the way forward, the head of state insisted that the transition must be very short. Must be very short. And they even went to the way of clearly stating that the transition should not last more than 6 months. So 6 months, election should be held. And because there was a coup, and to give the clear signal that this is not acceptable, they imposed sanction. They imposed sanction on the member of the National Committee for Development and Restoration in Guinea, the new organ that has taken over. So sanction on those members. The sanction cover travel bans, freeze of asset, financial asset, essentially. They also, of course, reaffirm ECOWAS' firm commitment to work and help Guinea in this process of restoring the constitutional order. They insisted also on the close support of our traditional partner, the United Nations, the African Union, the European Union, and also other bilateral countries. And they also decided that there will be a visit by the chair of the authority to the Republic of Guinea as soon as possible to convey those messages regarding the decision of the summit personally.
The government has issued a 2-week ultimatum to developers along the Teshie Lagoon at La here in Accra to pull down all unauthorized structures sitting along buffer zones of the water body. The illegal occupants risk a standoff with task force officials who will be deployed to areas should they fail to move. Several structures have been indiscriminately erected by private developers along the Teshie Lagoon over the years, some serving as scrap yards, provision shops and mechanical shops. Municipal Chief Executive for La Dade Kotopong, Solomon Kote Nikwe, who toured the area with a team of a task force team, from the La Dade Kotopong and Lejokuku municipal assemblies, said the level of encroachment is unacceptable.
They are destroying the Teshie, and you can't cheat nature. If you feel it today, it will come back at us.
For how long has this been?
Oh, I think it's just recently. I think about a month or two ago that they started. They started small, but now it's like it's on a high scale. So
what's the way forward?
What we are here, Ladma is here, Lekma is here. We have Ayawaso North 2 here as a joint operation team. We are asking them to move their containers. We are giving them up to, the honest. We don't know the honest. We're giving them up to the 30th of this month.
Thank you.
30th of this month, we are coming back to this place. Whatever we see here will be destroyed.
Amen.
And then we'll excavate back the place and then plant trees here.
What will happen to those who have been arrested? Or who will be arrested?
Who prosecutes them? We'll take them to court, who prosecutes them. Because what they are doing, is bad. It's against the law. This is a buffer area. It's a buffer area. We've sold all that land and now we are taking over the buffer areas too. We can't cheat nature. If the lands are gone, the lands are gone.
Member of Parliament for the area, Rita Odole-Soa, who joined the task force for the removal of these illegal structures, will pave way for the dredging of the lagoon.
Teshie is so choked, and as Member of Parliament, I raised it on the floor of Parliament. The Minister for Works and Housing came and he gave me the assurance that they'll come and dredge the Teshie Lagoon. And so with the structures around it, when they are coming to dredge, it will be so difficult. And so I'm happy that today the regional minister has ordered, and then the MCE for Lekma and Ladma and myself, we are here to support the program so that when the machines are brought to dredge the Teshie, it will be easy. And every structure that comes up needs to obtain permit from the assemblies. Do these structures have permits? So we should find out from the assemblies whether they have given permit to them. If there is no permit, they should invite the people. You invite them, you sit with them, and then let them know that where they are is a wrong area. When this river is there, look at Aqua Safari, look at Royal Senchi. They have hotels around it. They've created employment for the people. So I believe we can do better things here to create employment for the youth of Dade Kotopong and Teshie. And I believe it's going to help all of us. This is an eyesore, and we need to put our acts together, put our shoulders to the wheel, and make sure that we push for this thing to be done very well.
Member of Parliament for Ho West Emmanuel Bejra is optimistic several initiatives he started will improve the standard of education in his constituency. Aside providing educational infrastructure and logistics, he annually organizes quiz competitions among junior high schools to ascertain their readiness for the basic education certificate examinations. This year's contest, which is the 7th edition, saw 4 schools participating for the ultimate prize. A report by Fred Kwame Asari.
Saviepe Agokbudi AJHS, Chito Old JHS, Peje Ablime BRC JHS, and Dofo DA Basic School took part in this year's West Basic School's annual quiz competition. At the end of the fiercely contested 5-round quiz, defending champions, Chito Old JHS won with 67 points. The school received a laptop, LaserJet printer, 1 terabyte external hard drive, a trophy, a cash prize of 1,000 cedis, 80 exercise books, 200 Ghana cedis presented by the Saint NGO, and citations. The Ho West MP, Emmanuel Bejra, who sponsored the quiz, expressed satisfaction at the performance of the pupils. He is optimistic the initiative would positively impact the preparation of the pupils ahead of their final examinations.
This is not the first, it was the 7th edition. Run and we have seen a lot of improvement. As you mentioned, this year we had good level performance sponsored by the examiner. We had the same Diamond Ladies for the first time. It has always been myself.
In recent times, Mexico has been influential in the world of entertainment, noted for riveting soap operas. But the Mexican embassy in Ghana wants you to experience more than what you see on TV. At the Holiday Inn Hotel last night, the embassy supported a project to showcase Mexican food and music. Judith Awachitando was there, and she sends in this report.
Si tú hubieras dicho siempre la verdad, si hubieras respondido cuando te llamé.
It was a lot of fun at the Mexican festival. One of the highlights of the event was karaoke.
Si no supiste amar, I could move a mountain when your hand is in my hand. Oh, ask me how to express how much you mean to me.
But the host, Teshie Lagoon, would not be left out.
To make you see, if it takes my heart and soul, you know I'll pay the price. A mis amigos les conté.
Mexican ambassador to Ghana, Enrique Escoza, who graced the event, explained the Mexican embassy said there was a lot Mexico and Ghana have in common.
Well, basically the idea is to put people closer together. I mean, the whole goal is not only that more Ghanaians know more about Mexico, but also that Mexicans know a little bit more about Ghana. So I think that a mission of any ambassador, in my case is no exception, is to bring people closer. And in the occasion of our independence, we want just to show the Ghanaian people how do we celebrate, how we are, how do we have the love for our country, because we see that the Ghanaian people love the country so much in so similar ways like we do. So we like to enjoy and show that part of us to our so amazing friends here in this country.
Many who were at the event commended the embassy for the initiative, saying it was a laudable idea.
Don't forget, we live in a very diversified world. Everywhere we go, we are all mixed. So yes, I encourage it. I think it's really good. It's a good initiative. It would even go far as to when we get to a point in time that we introduce Spanish in all classes in schools, you know, just to incorporate different languages, different cultures. You know, we get to appreciate everybody's diverse cultures, yes.
I believe it is a great initiative from both the embassy and from GAMEXCO, which are our partners in bringing Mexican culture into the Ghanaian society, which I believe it's the bridge that we need between two countries to connect each other. And I believe, and Mexico in general believes, that there are no better bridges than cultural links between two countries. So in that respect, I feel at home. I think this party, it really resembles what a Mexican party is all about. It's about having fun and making friends and just, you know, enjoy the moment, because as we say in Mexico, we only live life once, so let's live it in full.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's something to really learn about Mexicans. You know, we in America know about the Mexicans, but in Ghana, the Mexican initiative, I think it's a good idea to try and just learn about them.
The event was an avenue for socialization between Ghanaians and Mexicans as they sang, ate, and had loads of fun. Judith Awachitando, JoyNews.
And that's it for the AM News here on the AM Show. Of course, the show continues, don't go anywhere. We're going to get straight into the newspapers with Israel Laye and myself. I live for days like this. So shall I start, or would you like to start with the Ghanaian Times, Israel?
No, you have it your way.
Okay. You start then with the Ghanaian Times.
Okay, so that's fine. I'm starting with the Ghanaian Times. You see, you can't ignore me after all. So on the front page, at the extraordinary summit in Accra, restore democracy in 6 months. ECOWAS leaders order Guinea coup makers. And that story is in the center spread. So it says the Economic Community of West African States is giving the military junta in Guinea 6 months to restore constitutional rule to the country. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of yesterday's extraordinary summit of heads of states and government of the ECOWAS in Accra. So there are a number of things that they're talking about. The travel ban has also been imposed on the coup plotters, as well as their family members and supporters, with the financial assets of members of the junta frozen. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Kissibru, told the media after the summit that the decisions of the ECOWAS authority would be communicated officially to the military rulers today. Okay, so there's some more stories. 5 arrested in connection with recruitment fraud. That's where it's on page 3. The Volta Regional Police Command has arrested 5 persons for involvement in recruitment fraud at Akachi and Sogakopa in the Volta region. So the people said to have impersonated or set up a Facebook account in the name of one of the top officers in the police. So they created the account in the name of the Regional Police Commander, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Edward Udru Kwatims. So supposed to be advertising to assist potential applicants for enlistment into the Ghana Police Service, and the police has grabbed them. So, well, the 5 of you, your names are Amenya Bernard, 18 years, really? Ajika Godsway, 23, and Vomaga Godson, 21. They were arrested at Akachi, and then Francis Abad, 22, and Godfred Wozuame, 21. They were grabbed at Sogakope. So you're on your own, guys. So also, alleged serial killings by taxi driver, fresh evidence emerges, and a man grabbed for allegedly stealing taxi. Then in Africa news, police beat journalists fire tear gas during Congo election protests. Head of IS in Sahara killed by French troops. 1 million Nigerian children to miss school because of a series of mass kidnappings. It's so unfortunate that this thing, Nigeria hasn't been able to deal with this problem, the Boko Haram problem. U.S. General Defense secret phone calls with China. Hezbollah brings Iranian fuel into Lebanon. That must be welcoming. China denounces U.S., UK, Australia pact as damaging. And on page 7, Greater Accra Regional Minister supports TT with 1,500 cedis monthly stipend. So Sam Adjetifu is, he used to be, well, he's an actor. He used to play in the popular series Taxi Driver. He was a taxi driver in that. And he's having some issues with finances. And so we had the vice president pay, 50,000 cedis to get him to sort out his rent. And then we're having the Greater Accra Regional Minister also supporting him. But it brings up this issue of, the people who are into acting, the actors and actresses, especially the old ones.
Yeah.
When
they retire.
Yeah, when they retire or we no longer find use for them, then they run into difficulties and they become paupers. But you're wondering what was happening to all the money they were making when they were a lot younger or in the prime of their lives. Journalists schooled on gender-based violence reportage. Then work on 39.3 kilometer Isikuma Harbour Road begins. Plan access roads to residential commercial facilities. That's Interior Minister saying that. PNC infighting ugly, disturbing. That's Bernard Mona, a former chairman of the People's National Convention, saying that. Then we move to page 12. Mahama, perception of hardships, not creation of NDC. And entrenched politicization of national issues, threat to democracy. That's a Peace Council saying that. 2 NGOs sign MOU to empower vulnerable groups. And on page 15, we're being urged to patronize museums and monuments to boost tourism. And the minority is questioning 6.8 million CD bailing of colleges of education for free Wi-Fi. It's an interesting story. The minority in Parliament has questioned a directive from the Ministry of Education to the 46 colleges of education to pay 6.8 million CDs for Wi-Fi service. So in a letter available to the Ghanaian Times, the Sector Minister, Dr. Yao Educhum, asked the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, to facilitate the payment of the amount to Internet Service Provider Busy Internet following a review of the contract of the provision of Internet service to the pre-tertiary schools. So according to the letter, the decision had become necessary because the free Wi-Fi initiative was overburdening the funding for the free SHS. Okay, so here's a case where the colleges of education were giving free Wi-Fi by government, and then government now says, okay, we can't give you free Wi-Fi anymore.
Nah.
So pay 6.8
million CDs.
So the minority, in a statement questioning the decision of the government, Dr. Clement Park, he's a deputy ranking member on the education committee, and he said there was no justification for their directive because they were not a party to the contract. So you've signed a contract with Busy Internet provide with Wi-Fi, and then you can't pay. Then you're bringing in the colleges of education to come pay. No MOUs were signed between the colleges and Busy Internet. No official discussion was held with principals of the colleges of education, nor their national executives, on what the provision of free Wi-Fi connectivity, and even GTEC was not aware of the facility and the terms of agreement. But I mean, it makes sense if they were not party to it. Maybe government should waive this one or pick up this bill and say subsequently, you know, let's have an arrangement where you pay for the Wi-Fi. That is if you're interested, or you can, you have the funds to support that. Will open borders if Ghana achieves 20 million COVID-19 vaccination target. That's the Interior Minister saying that. So you know the land borders have been closed for a long time because of COVID-19, and the communities are complaining that they do a lot of business, cross-border business.
Of course.
But as it stands now, they're unable to do that, and it's collapsing their economies. So they want them open. Well, the Interior Minister says, wait, if Ghana achieves 20 million COVID-19 vaccination target, then we'll open. No, that's like, yeah, it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah. All right, 7,000 Ivorian refugees to receive legal status by 2022. And 100 best girls in Western North region receive laptops. Okay, that's good. Getting laptops. That's awesome. Cattle crossing major roads unacceptable, Dr. Peku. Cattle shouldn't be crossing roads in the city. Really?
Cattle, sheep, goats, all sorts. They just, I mean, you just park and wait for them to kind of just go. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
NMC commits to protecting rights, safety of journalists. That's Boedu Ayuba, for the chairman of the National Media Commission. Melcom introduces clothing line onto market. That's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Melcom seems to be, you know,
doing the most.
Yeah. And asserting themselves and making it clear that they are the retailer of choice.
Yes, indeed.
Offering so many options to the people, the customers. All right, let Ephraim Amu's musical compositions stimulate sense of patriotism. Greta Lord's Lakeside Estate for helping bridge housing deficit. Ghana's economy expands 3.9% in second quarter of 2021. Tallow oil records profit after tax of $96 million in half year. That's good. Take advantage of pre-harvest agribusiness exhibition and conference to strike new deals. And the private sector can drive Ghana's economic recovery efforts. The trade minister saying that. And spare Ashanti Gold Inter Allies scandalous game. Spare no one. That's the GFA saying that. And Nadal faces difficult foot injury recovery. Messi quiets in PSG draw as Man City Liverpool win thrillers. So, yeah, they're saying Messi. Okay. England's men's team move up to third in FIFA rankings. And what else do we have? Back page, encroaches on Teshie wetland to suffer demolition after September 30, and flooding cuts off Saboba from rest of the country. I'm done.
All right, okay. Well, going straight into the daily graphic this morning, and of course, as expected, the headline, protects democratic values. President.
Did you say how many minutes?
No, today I'm being good.
Okay.
At least for now.
Okay.
President urges ECOWAS leaders. NMC moves to halt impunity against the media. ECOWAS places travel ban on Guinea military. That story we've talked about, and we will be going into more details a little later on in the show. So, okay, a quick recap of everything that's going on in the Daily Graphic. Africa vaccine hub to replicate Moderna shot. There's an opinion piece, what a month, August 2021. Yeah, it was quite eventful. Let's review removal of MMDCEs, Dr. Fiadomo. Stakeholders deliberate on review of gender policy. Asula tours GIFEC projects in Western North. Can Frimpong plot hearts fall. Security beefed up at KNUST. Vigilance at sea. Maritime watchdog scares of pirates. So that seems interesting. Okay, so on page 3 is the story proper of the ECOWAS extraordinary meeting that happened yesterday. So if you'd like details, Africa vaccine hub to replicate Moderna shot. So that's what we're going to do. And let's enforce the outcomes of ECOWAS meetings. Of course, we can sit down and talk and talk and talk and talk. But if we're not going to enforce, then just wasting everybody's time, really. Global COVID-19 cases have dropped. The prevalence in the US is still high, though. That's good news. So global COVID-19 cases saw their first substantial decline in more than 2 months last week. That's according to the World Health Organization. But cases in the United States continue to remain highly elevated, particularly among children, according to a separate pediatric report. Oh, okay. German experts support Ghana to genome sequence virus variants, and more AstraZeneca vaccines have arrived. So we've received 98,400 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine donated by Norway through the COVAX facility. NMC moves to halt impunity against media. Security beefed up at KNUST. Census spread project to combat child labor in agricultural sector launched. So a project to combat child labor in the agricultural sector value chain was launched in Accra yesterday. Now, this initiative is intended to complement the government's efforts to eradicate child labor, which is manifested in the form of forced labor. So we're doing that as well. Stakeholders deliberate on review of gender policy. Okay, so what we want to do is review and update the national gender policy. This is being led by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. And it's because really the current one has expired. So the current gender policy was a 5-year one from 2015 to 2020, and it has expired. Now, the participants discussed fine-tuning the expired policy and a strategic implementation plan to respond better to emerging and persisting gender inequality and equity issues. So let's review removal of MMDCEs. That's Dr. Fiadomo. We must preserve democracy. That's Mr. Francis Xavier Susu, MP for Medina. ECOWAS places travel ban on military junta. I brought you that already. Achimoda Central Market will be rebuilt. That's according to the regional minister. Okay. Governing councils of GIS and Fire inaugurated. Bring your expertise to bear on Metro Mass Transit. Transport Minister charges boss. And Maritime Watchdog scares of pirates. So the vigilance of the Multinational Maritime Coordinating Center has scared away activities of more than 16 vessels on the Gulf of Guinea suspected to be pirates. Interesting one there. Tourism for inclusive development. The Graphic Traveler. Oh, I love that. So the Graphic has like a travel page. I think it's on Fridays. So I haven't seen it this whole week. But anyway, and it's talking about, how we can use tourism for development, the picture of waterfalls. Okay, interesting. You can grab the Daily Graphic if you want more details on that. Can Frimpong plot hearts fall? Former Asante Kotoko skipper Amos Frimpong is expected to inspire his Guinean club CI Kamsa to defeat Accra Hearts of Oak when they clash in a preliminary round duel of the CAF Champions League at the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday. Oh, that should be interesting. Final stories on the back page. Ghana card to replace NHIS cards in December. And Accra Tema Beach Road reconstruction progresses. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
Right, let's go to the Finder. And immigration deported 271 foreigners in 2020. Nationals of 22 countries affected. Redefine red line corporate governance, 902's report. The second, report indicts radio and TV stations for interviewing fewer female experts, which is a story I'd like us to get into. So essentially they're saying that the TV and radio stations interviewed fewer female experts, but anyway, I believe it stands to reason that we have less women if you compare the ratio of men who are employed employed in formal roles. You compare that to women. We have.
Charlie, this thing,
yeah.
all the analysis for me doesn't work. Okay. The women don't like to talk.
No, even before we get to that. So that's one of the reasons.
Fundamentally, Israel, even if we have just 3 women in the whole of Ghana who can talk or are capable of talking, chances are 2 out of those 3 women won't want to talk.
I agree.
I have seen over and over again producers, on the Super Morning Show, on Newsfile, even my show, trying to get women to come up and have no, we don't want to talk.
You mean even for strong and sensitive?
Yes, even for strong. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk about our relationships. We don't want to talk about our lives. I'll be putting the kids to bed at that time. No, I don't want to do this. No, but the politics is too much. No, but there's always one reason or the other. So I love a report like this, and it's true because we don't feature women as much, especially on some topics.
Okay.
But the truth is that women don't like to talk about some things. I'm guilty of it. Sometimes there are conversations that may be going on the morning show, and I'd rather just sit it out because I'm just like, this is like a boys' club conversation. You all have your conversation, whatever. We women are still going to do what we want to do, regardless of what you all are saying. But that's the thing, though, until it actually came to my attention that we cannot be quiet. We cannot be quiet. We have to weigh in. And the thing is, Israel, this is something that you won't understand because you're not a woman.
Right.
The thing is that, when a woman has a seat at a table, she has to bring so much more than the average man to gain the respect of the people that are listening to her who are watching it.
It's true.
And sometimes it's unnecessary pressure. You're like, look, I don't need to prove myself, so I'd rather just not say anything and do what I can in my corner. Because every time you come to the table, you're going to be judged. You're going to be expected to be better. You're going to be expected to have a certain hairstyle. You're going to be expected to not dress a certain way. You're going to be expected to not have pierced your nose or your ears. There's so many things that factor in with just one conversation that you're coming to have. Meanwhile, nobody cares that the guy who's sitting next to you, half of his hair is bald. He got a bad haircut. He's been sleeping with 6 university students. Like, nobody cares about that. But when it comes to women, in a simple conversation, everything that you are and everything that you do has to come to the forefront. I remember I was speaking to Zanetta Rawlings at one of the She Boss events, and she talked about the fact that sometimes people are just so unnecessarily cruel to women and just bring in things that don't matter. So, for example, I was here to talk about anything. Maybe I have an opinion. I'm a strong woman about something. Oh, no, but she's divorced. That's why she's like that. Oh, but she's this. Oh, but she's that. And yet we have, high-ranking officials who are in their 2nd and 3rd marriages, and nobody says anything about it.
Okay, what can I do about it?
I feel like you can buy me coffee. That's what you can do about it. I feel like I've had a good. So I hope that the Finder, the report is comprehensive. Let me look at it very well.
Oh.
Okay.
It said what he has to say, and that's it.
Yo, we've heard.
Looks like you've been meaning to rant about this for a while.
I haven't. I've said it so many times. It's very, very frustrating.
So the question I'm asking is, what can I do about the situation?
I think that it's important that...
Not the coffee bit.
Yeah, I know. I think that it's important that listeners or people who are watching, people keep the main thing the main thing. When a woman comes on TV or radio to talk about health or to talk about banking or business or politics, it's not about whether she has children or not, or whether she's divorced or not, or whether she can't find a husband or not, or whether you heard that she was sleeping with this, that, and the other.
Who says so? Because yesterday we had 2 women join us for a conversation on cancer. And who has said anything about that?
No, of course, that was a very nice, soft advocacy conversation. And when it comes to the nice, soft advocacy conversations, no one is going to attack you. But if we were sitting here having a conversation about something that would be, what's the word? Exactly, controversial. Then you would see how, if you go, for example, and I use Zaneto as a perfect example, if you go on her Facebook page or her Instagram page, sometimes she posts something about development in her area. And the comments are about the fact that you go and get married and you're walking around and you've done yourself stiff like this and you've done that. And what does that have to do with the price of milk?
It's limited to just women? Because on social
it's very
media,
limited.
It's a free-for-all. I post COVID-19 updates and people come at me.
Yeah, but it's much more with what do they come at you for though?
I say all sort of silly things.
Like?
Yeah, like I've been paid to come and post COVID-19.
I mean, have you been paid to come? If you're an ambassador and you're being paid, you're an ambassador and you're being paid. Yeah, but nobody is saying that, well, instead of you to go and think about finding a wife, you're here posting about COVID-19. Or you've had children with 2 men and now you're coming to...
Why did I decide to review this story?
Well, because I think it's important. The double standards of our society. I get so annoyed. There are things that men do that they get away with. And when women do even half of that, they're like marginalized forever and judged forever. I will never forget Otiko Jabe's vetting, how a part of it became about her hairstyle. So what if the woman wants to shave 2 sides of her head and leave the middle? Like, what does that have to do with her ability? Does anybody question why you've used Adama to shape the front of your head? Like, you're going bald and you've put black hair dye and you've shaped the black hair dye, but in your vetting, nobody asks you about that. How about we do that then? Let's ask why you're not accepting your baldness, but you want to have a 10-minute conversation on somebody's hairstyle.
The review of the Finder's review has taken us, what, 5 minutes?
Anyway, on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning, Mahama attacks EC boss again. Let's be firm on Guinea crisis, that's according to Nana. And AG decries lawyers' judiciary attacks. I'm even hungry at this point. Okay. International stories quickly. COVID-19. France suspends 3,000 unvaccinated health workers. Somali president cuts PM's power as rift widens. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles days after testing weapon of great significance. An ex-Kenya sports minister sentenced over Rio 2016 scandal. Entertainment. Give women more top roles in hospitality and tourism industry. That's according to Jael Ajay. World brand Giordano. Oh, okay. Now in Ghana, minister donates 1,500 of his salary to Salm Ajay Tefio. I think that's about it. For the Daily Guide, so that we can make room to... Oh, 1 second. Let me just read my horoscope. Okay. Creative arts industry needs investment. That's according to Abina Morgan. Yeah, okay. Back page. Milo begins Stars job next week with 2 Ghanaian assistants. Fans back biennial World Cup. FIFA survey says. And James loses CL Euro 2020 medals. Kosua salutes Safa for FIFA Club's World Cup bid. That's it.
Right, and on the front page of the B&FT, SNIT pays 1.8 billion cedis in half-year pension benefits. Economic structure undergoing reset, NDPC boss. Guba premieres 2021 awards to celebrate the century of Yasantua's resilience. NHIA to phase out NHIS cards by 2022. Subscribers will be linked to Ghana Card. And Trips goes live to offer convenient mobility services. Shall we get to MyJoyOnline?
Yes,
now?
please. Let's do that. MyJoyOnline.com this morning. Guinea coup. ECOWAS gives military rulers 6 months to return country to constitutional order. Other stories on MyJoyOnline. Can we scroll down? Thank you. So-called experts who told voters to ignore statistics in 2016, now in government, holding up economic figures. That's according to Mahama. September 21st, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day declared a public holiday. Name and shame officials involved in WASI leakages. Nochu Kote tells WAEC. Heavy security deployed to KNUST campus. Obviously, we did that story yesterday. International Traditional Council gives Elmina Fishing Harbour site squatters 2 weeks to vacate, and 11 SHS put under surveillance on suspicion of exam malpractice, according to WIAC. And of course, there's a lot more news on MyJoyOnline.com. You can head there this morning. There's business, entertainment, opinion, sports, and you can also listen to radio and potentially watch TV. But we have a really exciting show for you, Israel. Do you want to just quickly take the run through?
The issue of the ECOWAS Extraordinary Summit in Accra and what the ultimatum giving to the military junta in Guinea is going to be one of the main issues we're going to be having a conversation about. So they're told to restore democracy in 6 months, and they're likely to face travel. They're facing a travel ban and some other sanctions.
The assets have been frozen.
The assets have been frozen.
Yeah.
But we'll look into the implications of that. What does it mean? And will these sanctions bite at all? And how is the military junta reacting to all of that? That's a conversation we're going to be having with the experts. That's one of the things. And then we'll also be talking about Moments with Joy. It's an exciting thing happening.
It is, getting to know your favorite presenters and, all of that, getting live and interactive.
So we're starting with Emefa
Adeti, yeah. She's the host of Joy Prime Morning. So she'll be doing that at 2 p.m. today. But KMJ will be joining us, and he's the host.
She will. And then at some point, Enumatu will be featured. And then you can ask her all the questions. You can ask her why she's always on my case. I really don't mind she being on my case.
Exactly. So are you complaining or are you...
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that there are people out there who are wondering why you're always on my case.
Well, who else will be on your case? Your life has been too easy up until now. So we have to make you suffer and pay for, having hot water flowing out of your tap and all of that. Yes, okay, so this is still the AM show. My name is Enima Animado, and I'm doing this with Israel Lai, and it's a privilege, of course, to be working with Israel Lai. Anyways, we're going to go for some sports. Oreko Ampofu brings us sports, and when we come back, and we'll get into all our conversations, and we'll have fun. We have a few games coming up as well, so we'll tell you about that. It's Friday, so we're just chilling, having a good time here, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the AM Sports with me, Oreko Ampofu, and we do start off from one thing that was trending yesterday, and it has to do with Hearts of Oak's unveiling of their jersey. There was a whole event at the World Trade Center where the board chairman of Hearts of Oak, Togbe Afede, he said that he's keen to see the club become one of the best in Africa in terms of performance on the pitch, and then when it comes to off the pitch, branding as well. Togbe made these comments during Hearts' unveiling for the impending football season.
It was a colorful ceremony on Thursday night at the World Trade Center in Accra, where Hearts unveiled their home and away kits for the 2021-2022 football season. The jerseys have a new logo, which is intended to celebrate the club's 110 years of existence in November. Board chairman of Hearts of Oak, Togbe Afede the 14th, who believes Hearts have the largest following, is keen to enhance the brand of the club.
But we also see opportunities in the football world. We all see how much football is growing, the transformations that we saw or we all see in the English Premier League. So we see that there is opportunity for us to grow our football, to grow our brand. And we also see the power of technology. We know that also presents to us an opportunity not only to mobilize our support base, but also to monetize the strength in that base and also enhance our commercial presence.
The Phobians won the double last season, and Togbe wants the club to rub shoulders with the best clubs in Africa.
Today we are unveiling our 110th anniversary logo as part of events marking the launch of our 110th anniversary. The occasion is supposed to help us to reflect again on the past, on the present, and on our future. We have key activities that have been lined up for this year and also key targets for this year. All of these are geared towards realizing our objective for the decade. For the next 10 years, we want to achieve more success and more glory. And we want to be counted among the best clubs on the continent. But believers, we want also to make a contribution to the world of football, not only in Ghana, but across the world. We don't want to always be on the receiving side. We also must be able to give something to the world, and Accra Folk would lead that change.
Hearts will don the home jersey on Sunday when they take on Guinean side CI Kamsar in the CAF Champions League preliminary round.
We'll be bringing you coverage of the Hearts, preliminary CAF Champions League round when they do play CI Kamsar. And we'll be also right here today, especially on our bulletins, to be getting your appetite ready and bringing you more previews on how Hearts have prepared so far and whether they can go all the way in Africa. However, the 72-hour deadline to appoint the next coach of the Black Stars has ended. But the Ghana Football Association is yet to name a replacement for Sika Akono, who was sacked on Monday. Serbian coach Milovan Rajevac is a front-runner for the job, but astute sports journalist Carl Tufor wants the job to be given to a Ghanaian instead.
If we are clamoring for a foreign coach, with all due respect to all the people around there, and particularly the politicians, then let's also clamor to get the Brits back to come and rule this country, because we messed it up big time. What have we done?
But that's absolutely...
Kwame Nkrumah would be turning in his grave.
That's not the same, right?
It is the same.
At independence, we said the black man was capable of managing his own affairs.
Good. So why the Black Stars, you don't want that? The black man, I'm quoting you, the black man is capable of managing the affairs, Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
So why won't you allow him to continue?
But it's not the evidence that shows that clearly they have not performed.
The evidence shows that anytime we've won medals, with the exception of Utufitsa, and that's because of the age factor, let's not run away from it. With the exception of Utufitsa, it has always been a local coach. That's the record. African Nations Cup, Under-17 World Cup, Under-20, we got to the final, or Samdodu. Olympic Games, Samadi. Let's not run away from it.
Can you situate that history in the performance of the very gentleman we are discussing today? Sika Akono's performance was, according to many,
that is why I have,
was substandard.
That is why I have not
up to the touch.
That is why I have not argued with anybody who would argue on that perspective. Performance has not been the best. I concede that. I am not talking about CK being sacked. I'm talking about who are you going to hand it over to? Give it to a Ghanaian. That's all I'm talking about.
Does it matter? Shouldn't we just look for competent people regardless of where they come from?
If that was the case, ministers of state, competent people, and if you say that, oh, that because of the nationality and the way the constitution is,
constitutionally it's not possible.
Then go and take the heads of various institutions. They are the ones who you, Raymond, do your investigation and find out so much rot in the system. But honestly, on your Brunei, it's not the white, it's not, that one doesn't say it must be, so why don't you bring the whites there? And they'll run it competently. That's the only argument I'm arguing. That's my point. I think that.
But should race matter? Should the person's race...
Race should not matter, but it should be a Ghanaian. Because we have Arab Ghanaians.
Okay.
We have white Ghanaians. It should be a Ghanaian. So that should be the prerogative of a Ghanaian as far as I'm concerned.
So today, if you look at the availability that we have in this country, the people, the competence and the standards we have in the country today, can we get somebody who deliver that kind of results and the targets that was given to
Can I behave like a typical Ghanaian in answering that question?
Not
by
asking me
also
a question.
giving you another question.
Not asking me a question,
saying
clearly.
That also, in the same vein that you talk about the Black Stars, who is available, then who's available to run our institutions then?
I mean, can you for a second leave out the other governance structures? We are talking about a football institution.
At the moment.
That is telling everybody that it cannot be controlled or actually...
So you think twice?
Yes.
Before you appoint somebody.
That was an interesting discussion there on Upfront here on the JoyNews channel. From football, let's now do some boxing, where President of the Ghana Boxing Authority, Abraham Kote-Nikwe, has promised to produce 8 world champions by the year 2023. Ghana is yet to secure an 11th world title after winning 10 belts on the world stage. Kote-Nikwe is keen on ensuring Ghana claw back lost glory in world boxing.
We are putting up black fighters, Ghana black fighters. These Ghana black fighters are going to be a team of 12 best boxers that we have in the country. GBA want to get involved with management, with corporate bodies to support the individual managers. We have left this thing in the hands of individual managers, and sometimes it's difficult to get there. So what we intend to do is we get these 12 boxers, we camp them, we put them at the boxing arena to train in them, take care of them with the support of the corporate bodies and the government. Within 1 to 2 years, out of the 12, believe me, I can give or produce 8 world champions out of the 12. And this is what I intend to do. With the help of the GBA, the corporate bodies, and the individual managers, 3 teams coming together with the support of the coaches, we are going to make a lot of world champions. My brother, I've told Ghanaians, we know our strength. Our strength is boxing. Let us pay attention to boxing. Then people keep talking about us world level. We are on the map. You can call from DK Poison, Azuma Nelson, Nanayo Akonedu, Ike Bazooka, Alfred Kote, Kome. You can call Game Boy, Emmanuel Tego. You can call the Hitter. You can call Agboko. You can call Joshua. You can call Dogbe. You know, we have a lot of names to call when it comes to boxing. Other disciplines are struggling to take us there. We are begging Ghana, we are begging the corporate bodies and the government that we beg them. Let them pay attention to the sports that bring glory to Ghana, and that is boxing. We beg them to come and support boxing. And we promise them within a year or 2, the Ghana Black Fighters, which is a team of 12, will produce 8 world champions out of this team.
But let's take a look at fixtures to look forward to this weekend in football in the major European leagues. Premier League action returns, and Thomas Partey is expected to start his first Arsenal game this season when they travel to play Burnley. Liverpool face Crystal Palace. Man City, after their victory in the Champions League, welcome Southampton at the Etihad Stadium, and then Everton go away to Aston Villa. On Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur host Chelsea, which would be the big lineup for this weekend. Let's go to Spain, where Atletico Madrid would be at home to Athletic Club, and then Levante also away to Elche. Alaves would be at home against Osasuna. Baba Idrisu's Real Mallorca, who've started the season in good form, would be at home against Villarreal. Real Madrid travel to face Valencia in what should be a tough encounter. FC Barcelona return to La Liga action when they are home on Monday. In France, we have the Liga action as Lens would be at home to face Lille, and then Gideon Mensa's Bordeaux travel to face Saint-Etienne. In the fixture of the round, Paris Saint-Germain would be at home against Olympique Lyon. PSG weren't too impressive in the Champions League when they drew with Club Brugge, despite starting Messi, Neymar and Mbappe. To Italy, where Inter would be at home against Bologna, Fiorentina would face Genoa away. And then on Sunday, a big one as Juventus face AC Milan. Remember, Juventus are yet to pick a win in this season's Serie A season. In this season's Serie A. And then on Monday, there's an interesting clash between Napoli and Udinese. The boss. But before we go, just a reminder that the Boss Game Show would be showing once again this weekend on Joy Prime. Last week, we saw Issa take away 4,200 Ghana cedis as he battled the boss in terms of, the last round. And eventually taking away 4,200 Ghana cedis. The Boss Game Show gives you an opportunity to show your football knowledge, and if you do beat the boss, you stand a chance of winning up to parts of 250,000 Ghana cedis.
No, it's not 200. It's 600 for the three of us, right? 650 for the three of us.
650.
Yes.
So each of you gets about 215 cedis.
Yes, that's okay. We'll take
you prefer that?
Yes.
My final offer, Mr. IT, Mr. Broker, Mr. Accountant, surely quadrupling what you have to 20,000 Ghana cedis.
So my group is also still saying that we can't be convinced by that offer.
20,000?
Yes. We'll still take the money and go.
Okay. So now, if one person decides to play me, that person will not share the 5,200 with anybody. If you play me and you win, you get the 5,200 alone. The others can go. Which of you is ready to take that offer?
Wow, they're still meeting to discuss.
This has never happened before.
In the history of forever.
All right. It sounds like a very juicy offer.
Yeah.
But I have a very able and competent group who are very stable-minded. And we think that we still want to take the money and go.
And go?
Yes.
Hey!
It could be you to make that decision as to whether you want to leave or stay with the money that you do have. Remember, you can also participate by dialing star 718 star 882 hash, star 718 star 882 hash on MTN, Vodafone or Airtel Tigo, or on G-Money, you can dial star 422 hash, select 4 and then select 6, and then you just follow the prompt. Buy entries are just 2 Ghana cedis to qualify to participate. The higher your entries, the better your chances. You can also win electronic goods such as TV sets, home theaters, etc. when you buy entries, as well as come to the show to contest the boss for a part of 250,000 Ghana cedis. That's how we end the sports here. My name is Oreku Wampofu, and the AM show continues right after this.
In their deliberation, they said two very important things. First, as they did in the meeting of September 8th, they reaffirmed the importance of allowing President Alpha Condé to be free and ensure that his physical integrity be respected. So that was the very first thing. They said it in September 8th, and they repeat it again today. President Condé must be free without any condition and be immediately free, released by the military. The second thing they said was to reaffirm very firmly the condemnation of the coup d'etat, because as I said and explained, we do not accept coup d'etat in ECOWAS, community protocols. In addition to those two things, two decisions, looking now at the political situation and the way forward, the head of state insisted that the transition must be very short. Must be very short. And they even went to the way of clearly stating that the transition should not last more than 6 months. So 6 months, election should be held. And because there was a coup, and to give the clear signal that this is not acceptable, they imposed sanction. They imposed sanction on the member of the National Committee for Development and Restoration in Guinea, the new organ that has taken over. So sanction on those members. The sanction cover travel bans, freeze of asset, financial asset, essentially. They also, of course, reaffirm ECOWAS' firm commitment to work and help Guinea in this process of restoring the constitutional order. They insisted also on the close support of our traditional partner, the United Nations, the African Union, the European Union, and also other bilateral countries. And they also decided that there will be a visit by the chair of the authority to the Republic of Guinea as soon as possible to convey those messages regarding the decision of the summit personally.
The man in the middle.
I believe in you both.
Yes, we believe in you too. Yeah.
KMJ.
Yeah. Okay, so
welcome to the AM show.
You're welcome to the AM show.
It's good to be here. It feels so good to be here. I love this place.
It's good to have you. And we have KMJ because we're talking about Moments with Joy, which is a new thing that we're starting. And starting today at 2 p.m. It's a completely social media driven thing. So you won't hear it on radio and you won't see it on TV, but you will see it on social media. So you want to just tell us what it's about?
Okay, so I mean, over the period, we've all found ourselves here working so hard, doing what we are supposed to be doing, serving humanity and making sure that we entertain listeners and viewers as well. So we decided that most of these guys, usually come into our DMs on Facebook, on Instagram, and they want to be closer to you. As much as they are not able to meet you in person on a daily basis, they ask you questions that they want answers to the questions.
Yeah.
And usually we're too busy. Sometimes we don't even get to know who is sending us the DMs and all of that. So we decided that, okay, with all the presenters or personalities we have here on the Joy brands, why don't we just put something together to make sure that we connect with our viewers, our fans, our listeners, and all of them. So on Joy FM, Hit FM, and Joy Prime TV, we have presenters that everybody wants to meet, they want to talk to and all that. So Moments with Joy came up. And we decided that let's have a 30 minutes, session. Put you on, put him on.
Israel and I, if you put us on it, we need like 2 hours. And I don't mean okay.
I don't know.
Well, the good thing is that we're going to have it in individuals. So let's
I meant 2 hours each.
What are we talking about, really?
Are you daring me to have a conversation with you for 2 hours?
So the good thing is that
Israel is looking at you like don't go there. Like, please save yourself.
This is not about KMJ. It's actually about the audience. But yes, if you put a new one, there'll be people who want to engage for 2. In fact, there'll be people who want to engage 24 hours.
Okay, so then that's cool.
Yes,
I think we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so back to the so
I wonder what they'll be asking you. Seriously,
lots of questions. Do you want me to start?
No, KMJ doesn't know.
So what's going on? Okay, so
the adorable Enimwa.
Yeah,
that people want to question for 2 hours.
Okay, so yours, we're going to make it 2 hours. I'm going to speak to...
we probably should be looking at that.
So that's what we're going to be doing. Yes.
So today you're hosting MFA Adeti.
Yeah.
Who's the host of...
she's on Prime Morning.
Okay.
And she's going to be my first guest. So
hers is 30 minutes.
Yes, we're doing 30 minutes, but we do 2 hours. Because now we understand you have a lot to share. Yeah. Now, the good thing also is that here you don't say next question. every question that comes to you, you answer. And the questions are not from me as a host. We're getting questions from fans who have followed you over the
audience, the people who are coming to watch
so
the live session.
They don't want, okay, I can't answer this question, move to the next question. No, that's not happening on the show.
Wow.
As long as
so
I'm
it's candid. It's like, hey.
This is where they can ask you questions that you do not expect them to ask you. So, for example, you come on and a fan sent in a question and wants to know who your boyfriend is.
Oh, okay.
Who that special person is. You can't say, next question, please.
Okay. No, we can answer questions.
But some of the questions can be very private.
And there's reason why we
can't ask. You can't ask, for instance, if Nima has had sex this morning.
They can't ask that.
Really?
Yes. They have every right to ask that question, and you need to answer to it.
I don't mind. I haven't had sex this morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, so...
No, I'm not saying you should answer.
I've answered it.
I was expecting you to answer.
But I've answered it. It's very easy. It's a question.
And you have to be very truthful. Yeah. You know, we're considering putting certain elements together.
I want to ask you more questions.
I mean, do you want to take the hosting job from KMG? Or?
No, but I like the fact that Israel knows a lot about.
No, Israel just wants.
Israel is the kind of fans that we're expecting to.
No, he wants to pay me back for how I've been harassing him on this show.
Ask her some questions.
Okay, so
so you want to do a demo?
mock session? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
A mock
right,
session.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So this is what Moments with Joy will look like. Except that this afternoon is MFA Adeti, but this is a demo. So it will be, hello.
All right, so good afternoon, welcome to Moments with Joy.
Ask real questions.
Do you just want to ask the questions,
No.
Israel? Just ask the questions, because, wow.
You start.
At this moment with Joy, and I have in here Enimwa, the adorable Enimwa.
Amaleson.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. So what's up? What are we talking about today?
I mean, we're talking about a lot of things. Fans will know about you. So first off, tell me, how did you get into this career?
Oh, that's a boring question.
No, I want to be very nice.
Don't be nice.
No.
What is that?
How did you get into it?
The Lord lit my path, and I found myself. It's wrong. Why?
Oh, no.
So I got into radio through Inshirado, actually, who also works here.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, so I met him for the first time because a friend of mine, he had said that, he was looking for someone to come and host the morning show at Live FM at that time. So I met him, and, I took his breath away, so I got the job. And that's how I got into radio, then Live FM, Class FM, and then finally Joy FM.
So if you're not doing this business, what are you doing?
As in, what am I doing when Elvis Kwashi allows me to leave work early? Exactly. Or what would I have been doing if I didn't have the job? Those are two very different questions. Which one?
So what would you be doing if you're not on radio, if you're not on TV?
Do you know that Elvis is watching you?
Yes. So that's why I clarified. Okay. Because Elvis doesn't allow us to...
I told him I'm coming here.
Elvis doesn't allow me to have a life. So I'm here. Yes,
really?
Yes.
You're saying that too?
Even the security men know about Elvis Kwashi. Elvis is the Don Dada, greatest of all time. Let's move on.
So these are the things we're expecting on the show. I mean, on a normal day, if anybody asked her this, she won't be talking about it.
Okay, on a normal day, this is how I answer.
But for the fans, they won't know this, but now they're getting to know that.
Let's now take some fun questions.
Yes.
So we have someone watching from Tamale. And I sent him this text message. It says, Nimado, are you still friends with your ex?
Which of my exes? Which of my exes?
The last one.
No, ask the question.
What's the question?
I'm reading the message.
Okay.
So a fan wants to know if you're still friends with your ex.
Okay, so I'm still friends with my ex-husband because we're raising kids together. I can't really think of any ex that I hate, so I think, yes, I'm on good terms with all of my exes. Currently, one of my exes is amongst my 4 boyfriends, so he's under reconsideration.
You have 4 boyfriends?
Yes.
Question.
Okay, next question.
So there's a follow-up. They want to know whether, how many exes do you have? Because you are mentioning plenty.
Okay, so I have one ex-husband.
So the fan sent in right now the question is, we want to know how many exes you have.
I have one ex-husband and about 3 or 4 ex-boyfriends. I'm almost 40, So obviously you don't expect that I'll have 2 or 1 ex.
Why are you not keeping one person? You seem to have a lot of exes.
No, I have 4 exes is a lot.
A lot.
You that you are sitting here, how many exes do you have?
This question has not been asked. Please.
You that you are sitting here, how many exes do you have?
Let me check the other question.
Check the other question for me.
This other question has come in.
Okay.
This question I can't ask.
No, ask. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, this is what the show is going to
I'll answer by force. Go ahead.
So we're telling all our fans, our viewers out there, they should just go on our social media page on Facebook.
Okay.
Joy Entertainment.
Joy Entertainment.
That's the only place that will.
Let's put that up. Joy Entertainment GH
on Facebook.
So let's get to that so that you can see it and you can like and follow so that you can be part of the conversation. And send in your questions. Whatever question you want to ask Enimwa.
It's not Enimwa, it's Emefa.
Who's coming. Okay.
Well, Emefa is my first guest, 2 p.m. She's very excited about it because she also has the same situation of not able to, respond to
engage people,
on all of that. So now this is the best opportunity
That's her.
for all of us. And
The beautiful Emefa.
And she's ready for today.
So let's move the cursor to the like so that you can like it and show the people how to like the page so that once you like it's up there. No, just like. You can see the like button over. Yeah. So that's the way you like it. You like. And then you click on it.
2 p.m.
And then at 2 p.m. Yeah. Why are you not liking it? Like it.
It's already been
liked. It's already liked.
Okay.
And you people should come and carry your grandfather from the set. It's why you can't be misbehaving here like that.
So we have all the personalities coming through. We're going to be running for a very long time.
Obviously,
because
there's how many
the number of people we have over
employees?
here. I mean, from radio, online, TV. We have a lot of people.
And when we're done, we'll go back to it again.
Yeah, we'll do back to back.
Because new things
we now go like 1 hour.
New things happen. You find new exes.
Yeah.
So there are more.
We'll bring them back again. Yeah. So.
I have a suggestion for you, and I think that the day that you host Israel to really bring out, this is from Echo. I would never say anything like this. To really bring out the best in him, we need to get like President Kufuor, President Akufo-Addo. Those are his age mates. So that they can really question him properly.
This is not like a personal attack.
No. It's the team. We know our grandfather. So I think we're going to...
Where's the grandfather?
So we know... you started it.
Grandfather.
No, if all grandmothers look like me, it would be a wonderful...
And if all grandfathers look like me...
I think you should take off your shirts to prove the point. Because I agree with you completely.
So this is possible. A fan can say they want to know about things like these, how you take care of yourself.
How you take off your shirt.
How you take off your shirt. If you're Sammy Forson, for example, has some things that he does when he's home, with the wife and all of that. People won't know about that. I'll not tell you about that. When Sammy's turn comes, you know. You don't want to know about that one.
Are we getting paid to air our lives like this? Please, Elvis Kwashi, you have to pay us.
And according to our boss, if you don't answer the question, it can affect your salary.
Which of the bosses? Elvis. Oh, Elvis has been.
If you don't answer the question, if the question comes and you don't answer.
When are you having Elvis Kwashi on? That day I'll come and support
that
you.
That one, unless we make Katie come and host it.
No, come and support you. We'll do a board of directors of interview.
The time I finish the hosting, my letter
your letter
is at the reception.
But we're super excited about it.
And
can't wait to watch it. It's at 2 p.m. and it's Joy Entertainment.
Yeah, we're starting today, 2 p.m. Joy Entertainment GH is the page that you can, like and then join us over there. Emma Fadet is my guest.
Yeah.
And she's excited, but a bit scared. Very, very.
Yeah, because you're really opening yourself up to the public.
This is like, it's going to come at you. And for me, whatever comes is what I read to you. So you don't have a choice.
Somebody an ex could come and ambush you.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
What are they coming to
ask? They send a message
and ask
weird
questions.
Like what? How
we had a test run on Joy FM, and it was crazy. Doreen Avi was there. MF was on the line. DJ Black was on the line as well. Myself inclusive. And a question came that I used to have a certain girl at Hits FM, the time I was on the morning show with a big bottles, and the person wants to know what was I doing with the girl. Was it my girlfriend or whatever it is? And I had to answer.
So you were dating and then you said you didn't like anymore. Please, what was your answer?
Well, I said that if it was Saminiwa, then yes, I myself and Saminiwa, we've been very good friends for a long time.
Friends?
Friends.
What do you mean by
Was the question friends or
friends
dating?
and dating friends.
Aze.
Good thing is I answered.
Aze, for mixed study. This answer is unacceptable. Do you understand the answer?
I don't.
We don't understand the answer.
So which is the answer?
What is dating friends? Did you date Saminiwa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. For a couple of months.
Yeah.
Couple of months?
Yes.
And then you just left it like that?
Yeah.
Are you like that?
I couldn't carry that anymore.
This show
is
going to get people into trouble.
No, let's end this.
This show is going to get people in trouble.
The weight was killing me.
Yeah.
So this is the AM show. We are issuing a disclaimer. We do not note KMG. He is not a part of this show.
True.
His opinions are not our opinions. He doesn't work with us. We don't. He doesn't even come to church. I go to church with that guy. I've never seen him in the church.
Is it part of the moments with joy?
Yes. Everything is part of the moment with joy.
No,
so anyways.
When I go to church, he doesn't show up. When she shows up, I don't come.
Yeah, but the thing is, I go to church every Sunday, so I don't know when. I don't know, man. When was the last time you went to church?
The day I sang in church, we're not there.
When was this? 4 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, what did I say?
Okay, anyways, so coming up next is Showbiz, but you can catch Moments with Joy. It's at 2 p.m. today on Facebook. Joy, I'm signing out. Thank you very much. You are done now. Okay, so that's it. That's KMG will be hosting, and you can send in all your questions for MFR Dirty, who will be in the hot seat today. Coming up next is the Showbiz News. Don't go anywhere.